Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the casual stream with your boy, Base the Kid. Now, I will be keeping this one fairly brief. Um, I've got a few things I need to do, but as we didn't get to do this yesterday, it was only right we did it today. Now, there was a lot of stuff to talk about yesterday, but as you guys will no doubt see from the little quick jing bang thumbnail that I just sort of threw up on the video, I guess there's stuff to talk about today as well. So yeah, look, without further ado, let the list populate for a minute or two as we normally do, and we'll get into it. But part of the reason why I didn't go live yesterday was because at the time when I got home, well, outside of being a little bit tired, sort of doing some other bits and pieces, we got the press conference, for that Fatal Fury City of the Wolves card taking place in New York, Times Square. I didn't really want to be going, alongside that unless we was going to be doing a watch along of the press conference. And then directly after that, there was Ariel and Ade show. So it just was no real time or place to sort of do it. So I figured out, well, look, we'll do it today. Also, I guess Arsenal played yesterday, which meant that any of the UK fans who are, I guess, football heavy, that was the game. Although I know that Liverpool's playing tonight, so yeah, I definitely want to kind of get see sort of how they get on with PSG. But yeah, look, we have to sort of jump on. We have to sort of talk about things. I guess we can either go in sequential order, or we can go from, I guess, this big news from today, and then sort of work our way back and just kind of figure out how things are going to play out moving forward. I haven't even looked a lot into the this whole TKO, the sort of the TKO league that they're looking to do. All I know is that you got Dana White and Turkey sort of setting up one part, but they're there with Tony Khan, uh, who most people, if you watch sort of WWE and stuff, you'll know that he is like I think he's the president of WWE at present. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things to kind of pick and dissect and go over. So let me just see who's in the chat real quick. And by the way, yeah, if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button for me, like and subscribe, much appreciated. All comments are welcome. If you are watching on Twix as well, leave your comments there, please. I appreciate those as well. But use the little link on the inside of it just to come over to the YouTube channel, subscribe, and do all of that good stuff. I probably should have done was found the City of the Wolves graphic, which I'm sure I've got somewhere. But yeah, I kind of was putting this one together. Took it was a little bit of a quick. Hold on, what's going on here? Shout out to man like Star Fox, number one in the building today. Massive news out there with this Turkey Dana collab. Yeah, like I said, man, it sort of changed my entire thought process and trajectory of doing the live. But fresh news. I guess we got to put it out there. We got to see what the people saying. And like Philip Ants in the building, shout out to you. Hot Pies in the building, salute to you, Hot Pies. Beast LFC as well, shout out. Yeah, man, can't complain. If this is gonna be brief, then maybe we should do this tomorrow. No. See, tomorrow I've got some other things that I'm doing, so we have to talk now. Strike while the iron's hot. Star Fox WR45E, shout out. KG and Trav might have actually hit the jackpot with this thing. Imagine they become full-time presenters for this thing. I mean, I wouldn't put anything past those two. They got the credentials to do it. If they still don't bring you in base, I strongly advise you reevaluate your friendship with them, man. Oh, I will definitely be handing in my resignation. Man, like Untraceable in the building. Shout out to you as well. Okay. Um, what was I gonna? I was gonna look for something, and I can't quite remember what it was I was gonna look for. Um, what I'll do for now. So yeah, look, I saw the news the same as everyone else. Now I'm waiting on. I know there's a couple of interviews and stuff that's supposed to be coming out with regards to this takeover, this new initiative. I'm gonna see if I can find some little like TKO boxing. Let me see if I can find the story now. All right, so according to um, right, so according to Deadline, let's see. So TKO launches boxing promotion partnership with Saudi Arabia's Turkey Al Sheikh and Seller Group. So UFC and WWE parent TKO Group has, as promised, jumped into boxing, inking a partnership with Saudi Arabia. The deal with His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh, chairman of the Saudi General Entertainment Authority, and seller, the Saudi National Entertainment and Events Conglomerate, will establish a new boxing promotion that will provide a platform for leading boxers and prospects in the sport. TKO will serve as a managing partner, providing day to day operational expertise, management, and oversight of the promotion, with executive leadership anchored by UFC CEO Dana White and WWE President and TKO board member Nick Khan. Did I say Nick Khan earlier or Tony? I hope I didn't say Tony Khan. Because Tony Khan is at AEW. So yeah, Nick Khan was the one I was referring to. Uh, right, so TKO CEO Mark Shapiro called the agreement a strategic opportunity to reimagine the sport of boxing globally. He had teased the deal as imminent on an earnings call last week. TKO has deep expertise, promotional prowess, and long-standing relationships. His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh and Seller share our passion and vision for evolving the current model. Together, we can bring the sweet science back to its rightful place in the forefront of the global sports ecosystem. Turki Al Sheikh said partnership between industry powerhouses set the stage for an unparalleled experience for boxers and fans. Together, we are developing the next generation of talent and delivering world class events at a time when the sport is primed for further disruption. Seller, which is owned by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, has played a pivotal role in promoting and delivering some of the biggest international boxing events in recent years, including Terence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov in Los Angeles and Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois at Wembley Stadium, which set a UK attendance record. The company is also lead sponsor of Newcastle United Football Club and has delivered projects such as Riyadh Winter Wonderland, Formula E, and the Italian Super Cup. Its CEO Rakin Al-Hate said the partnership will create a sustainable future for boxing. According to the announcement, the new promotion will feature, and I guess this is the important parts, a highly structured system to develop new talent from around the world, including athlete combines and academies, access for all boxers to the UFC Performance Institute, the world's leading combat sports performance training, research, rehabilitation, and nutrition center. Nutrition, yeah? Alright, cool. Featuring locations in Las Vegas, Mexico City, and Shanghai. TKO's promotion, media, and promotional expertise to deliver both in areas, experiences, and top tier, state of the art broadcast to fans around the world. So TKO said further details about the new boxing promotion, including fighter signings, fight schedules, venues, and host locations, will be revealed in the coming months. Okay, so based off of that, all right, so it's a new. What we're basically saying is it's a new all-in-one like promotional company. So it's like a Matchroom, but mixed with a BBBOC. That's kind of how it's playing out to me in my head based on that readings there. Now they say they're going to be developing new talent. From what levels are they looking to just sign up the biggest and brightest? Are they going to go grassroots from children ages like 8, 9, 10, sort of in those gyms, in those amateurs? Are they just going to be looking for the free agent talents to sign up now? um, are they going to be looking for the big guys just at the end of the contract, just to sort of spearhead the initial part of it and then work on developing down the line? Because if it's the latter, that seems very much how the PBC kind of came in, taking all of the established stars, but then not really having the facilities to then develop the next generation of stars after that. So look, I mean, also I guess what then happens with quote unquote Riyadh season? So does that now mean that so if they take all of this out over, even though you've got the Saudi involvement, does that mean that now they won't be doing Riyadh season events and everything will be all under this the TKO boxing banner? Is this separate to Riyadh? Is it combined with Riyadh? Is How much involvement does this have alongside the Ring magazine? Because they all seem to be run and supported by the exact same people. So are they all going to be interconnected as like one big conglomerate, or are they going to be separate arms of the same promotion? Very interesting times. Let me get to what you guys in the comments are saying, and then maybe someone else who's much smarter than me might be watching that can make some heads or tails of this. Because right now, obviously, there's a lot to kind of go through and try and figure out. But yeah, I mean, look, what does this mean for Frank and Eddie and Ben and Oscar and the rest of them? Let's see what you guys are saying. Shout out to man like Mulla. Shout out to you, big up as always. In the ring with Christine. Shout out to you, Christine. And yes, for those of you, I am going to sleep in a couple of hours for a nap, but then I will be on the Women's Crushing It Wednesdays show on In the Ring with Christine's YouTube channel tonight. I don't even know what time that's starting. I think it's going to be starting 2 a.m. So anyone who is up, feel free to tune in. I probably won't be on the entire show, but I've been invited, and I'm sure that it will be a very interesting time to be had. So shout out to Christine in the building. Untraceable. Love your talks with G-Man. I'm positive his name is Gary. Well, thank you very much for that. Yes, there will be some fresh talks with myself and G-Man soon. He'll be coming on my channel. I'll be going on his. We might be doing some stuff face to face soon as well. There's just a lot of we're just both extremely busy. But yeah, we will be sorting some stuff out. Oh, Gareth. Well, his name shall be his name. I will not be mentioning. Money plus money equals power and more money. Yeah, that's true. Although I think what they say is it's money and influence equals power, because money and money with no influence is like just dead capital. But I hear you. Star Fox says, I'm skeptical mainly because Dana's a I mean, look, shaky history, fair enough. Although he said he's been looking for the right angle to get into boxing for a time. I heard that they said that this whole thing is about making sure that they're able to circumvent the Muhammad Ali Act, or at least being able to not have to worry about it in some capacity. So is it going to be about having total control over all of the commodities within the promotion, or is it just about being able to I don't even know. I heard something about the Muhammad Ali Act being a part of one of the stumbling blocks as to why it took him so long to get into boxing. So that would suggest to me that he wants to be able to control fighters as well as their fights and the promotion and where things go. Um, does this mean Eddie and Frank are cooked? Um, Not necessarily. But here's the thing, though: is like at the end of the day, the whole TKO boxing thing. There's only so many dates that they can have, and if it means ultimately that Eddie and Frank have got to focus more on the UK again, all right, that's not actually a bad thing. They might have to start investing in that talent. Maybe, do you know what I could see it being? Very similar to how Riyadh season has been of late, right? You know how they've got in football or soccer, for any of the US people watching, but obviously you know it's really called football, the real football. They've got used to have the big clubs, but then they had feeder clubs that they were associated with, and those clubs, they would either send their prospects down to those clubs to sort of get some, to either do the loans, and they would obviously pay them a fee and help to keep those clubs ticking over. Or if those clubs were known for having very good academies, they would basically have first dibs on the academy talent for cheaper rates. Maybe this could be the same thing. Maybe Eddie and Frank end up being almost like feeder promotions to TKO boxing. They go in, they do their apprenticeship there on the small hall shows, the York halls, the the OVO arenas, on those kind of areas and levels of place. You go through there, you maybe get yourself to that title level where you're almost ready to win the world title, and then you get promoted to the big league, and Eddie and Frank then almost get like a retainer fee or like a finder's fee for their services, or a percentage, based on the contracts that they have. I don't know. It could be very interesting. Shout out to Yasmin Malik in the building. Much love and respect to you as always. Star Fox says, I suspect the honeymoon in Riyadh will soon be over. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. We all knew that whole thing wouldn't last, so we've been spoiled, and I think that's the main thing. As long as we've kind of gotten a good chunk out of it. The worst thing though is that if it doesn't take place, and it does like stop sooner rather than later, as maybe we were hoping, we just have to go back to not getting the fights we want and all of that. Although maybe the whole thing might be now you have to take the hard fights on the way up, so that you get to go onto the Riyadh shows for the big money afterwards. Maybe that might be the incentive. Now you don't get the chance to duck, because if you want to get there, you have to take these fights to qualify almost. And if that's the case of this whole league structure, maybe that's an idea. Maybe that's a way to go. Yes, Christine, I will see you and the ladies later on tonight. Yeah, start with based on the night shift again. You know what? And you know what makes it worse? Because initially, I say worse like it's a bad thing. But initially when I said, "Oh, I'm doing the work from home thing on Thursdays, so I can come on the show." Until I then found out I've got a doctor's appointment now in the morning, about my shoulder, but the only time they had was 8 a.m. So I'm basically in the same situation where I've got to be up and out of the house for the same time I would have had to be if I was going to work. So yeah, I've kind of messed myself up there, but it's cool. We move. Okay, 9 o'clock East, then 8 o'clock Central. So that means that 9 o'clock. Wow, that's okay. So that's two. I think that's 2 a.m. No, that might be 3 a.m. No, it's 2 a.m. 2 a.m. I will jump on the first half of the show, and I'll let you guys figure out the second half. It's still vague how this model will work. Will they create their own world title and weight division separate to the current model? I mean, yeah, that's an interesting point. And one thing I will say though, if they create their own weight classes, one thing about the UFC that I do respect is they, their weight classes increased and sort of scaled up along with the natural evolution of man, because considering that, I don't know what, 30, 40, 50 years ago, like the average man probably would have been like maybe 5'8", whereas now the average guy is like 5'10", 5'11", kind of thing. And then if you go further back 100 years ago, the average man was probably about 5'6" ish. So obviously weight classes, they never stayed the same. So people are squeezing down into weights that naturally their body shouldn't be at in this day and age. So, and the UFC kind of took that into account when they was creating their weight, because their water weights was like 170 pounds, their middleweights is 185. um, their lightweights I think is 145 or something like that. So yeah, they kind of scaled it up along with the natural evolution of of athletes and people in general. So we'll see what happens. I guess that part's very interesting. That Carmine building, shout out to you, Carmine. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for being here. um is this boxing related? Yes. This is boxing related. This isn't one of the casual streams. um oh, Okay, Christine asks, "What's a teeth?" All right, Star Fox, you might want to let her know in the chat. But it's a UK slash Jamaican Caribbean slang word for thief, for someone that steals. Um, so yeah, that's what a thief is. But you can't say it in your accent; it won't sound right. Yes, that's a British Caribbean slash Caribbean type word. Um, you get influence when you have money. That's a fair point, but not always. Trust me, I know some people that got hella money and nobody don't listen to them. Like, it gives you the opportunity, but yeah, there's also, it's how you utilize that money as well, I would say. But yes, influence is more likely to be given if you have something to exchange for it. Is it just young prospects they're going to sign? Will current world champions be able to compete in it? Well, in terms of the tournament thing, I think they're supposed to match the tournament in terms of skill levels. I would think, but maybe the tournament, the whole point is you've got, like, again, like if it's the Premier League, you've got the top guys are in there, and then the younger, the guys on the way up have to battle their way, maybe for the right to fight the top guys, or maybe the top guys have to compete with whoever's in the tables. Maybe they draw it out of a hat, and you just, whoever's there, you gotta face them. Just like, Premier League, La Liga, League One, Serie A, all of that. You play whoever you play whoever you play, you fight whoever you fight, and you just gotta go up and down the league. And then at the end of the season, because I think they're looking to do it seasonally, you have, I guess the champions, or the people that win it at the end of the season. Then they go again 6 months later when the new season starts. The interesting thing will be, because I heard that the first thing they're looking to do is on the 12th of October, which will be just after essentially will be the month after Crawford and Canelo. So will that be when the season starts, like that Riyadh period, and they almost have that league where you got to fight maybe 3 or 4 times in the space of that 4 months, or that 6 month period of Riyadh season, and then that league that lines you up for like maybe a big summertime show or something, a bit like how the those Ultimate Boxer shows where you would fight 3 times a night, 3 3-minute rounds, and the winner gets a contract at the end of it. I wonder if it would be something maybe along those lines. Oh yeah, Star Fox with the explanations, appreciate that. Yeah, sister clubs. Yes, sister clubs, feeder clubs. That's what they was calling them. Definitely. There we go. Thank you. Should have known that. No, I mean, look, it's not. That's not your. it's not your heritage and it's not your country, so I wouldn't expect you to have known that. Uh, why Yasmin always get a shout out? These times she's ducking me. You two still trying to compete for the right to face me for my titles. I mean, I can't lie to you, Justin. I think Yasmin will take you out still. Like and I don't mean on a date either. Shout out to Emma, the savage Emma. I always love when I see Emma in the chat. She's on smoke. Don't expect it to be easy for TKO, even with Turkey's backing. I mean, look, old money is the most valuable money in the game, and none of them old heads are gonna let things go without a fight unless TKO is actually looking to just bring them all in, and it's not a us versus you type thing. But look, the whole situation is interesting. I definitely want to know kind of what's happening with that. Where's everybody going? Well, we won't keep you long. Base injured as well. You still have to defend the belt. Look, I'll defend the belt with an injury. Remember what Cody Rhodes did in Hell in a Cell with Seth Rollins with one arm, one pectoral. Like I will fight with one arm. It's okay. It's not a problem. Like when you get to that level, when the money makes sense, I'll get into camp. And as a man like Shakur says, I'll start putting belt to ass. I have to remember the climate of American boxing in regards to fighters who sell a ticket and viewership, which is going down the drain. Yeah, but the question is the TKO thing going to be like USA Pacific? Is that going to be their base of operations? If it is, you can tell that the first thing they're going to do is go for all of the Olympians and all them young guys. They'll probably go and do the same thing that PBC did to Golden Boy Promotions back in the day. They'll probably try and do that exact same thing to Top Rank and just take all the Top Rank talent. Because that obviously Top Rank is the only ones that know how to develop fighters properly over there, that from the ground up with the biggest success rate. Ed Whitcomb, shout out to you. Can't see Frank and Eddie agreeing to just doing smaller scale domestic shows. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if they ain't got the money to compete, what choice do they have? I mean, look, both Eddie and Frank have got money, but they ain't got money to compete on that kind of level. They always say it. Look, when we got to worry about the bottom line of the shows to make sure that they're profitable. These men ain't caring about that for the time being. So, all you've really got to do. But the funny thing is, if you remember, Eddie Hearn used to be very big on the contract, the fight by fight contract. I'll shake your hand, we can do deals without things in place. I guarantee you he's locking down every single person he's got of any kind of value to either lifetime contracts, 6 or 7 fight contracts moving forward. No more of that free fight contract stuff. Even the guys that may take a loss, because that the commodities, like, they're all up for grabs, and they're going to go to the highest bidder. What's this? I'm excited about what this boxing league will mean for up and coming fighters and global recognition of the sport. That is something that I do think is a plus of it. Shout out to man like Jack Knight, yo to you as well. Face is faking the injury like Dubois. Why would you try and do me like? The thing is, I can't even really show you, but I was actually referred by a nurse from work yesterday. But I said, I'll do the things. The money's right. I'll fight one-handed, one-armed. It's not a problem. I've kind of had this injury impairment for years. It's just started to get worse and worse. So now I've got to get it taken care of. But it's all good. One arm, I'll still retain my titles. If they're broadcasters ESPN or Netflix, then that would be insane. It would be spooky times for Well, ESPN not as much. Netflix though, yes, because ESPN. Remember, part of the reason, like, they've lost a bunch of their rights. They lost their the UFC rights. They lost, I think it was the NFL rights as well. and there's another rights because they don't, because people started cutting the cable in the states now, and because they've started, they started cutting the cord, that they don't get a percentage of those cable package deals anymore like they used to, so they don't make the same money like they used to have. But Netflix, yes, because that is, that's a plug and play in every single country in the world. There's nowhere that they don't have a base where you can't, get the servers or the infrastructure to work there. And from what I've been seeing for like the WWE and how their stuff has been moving, like that is where it's at. Or even to a lesser extent, maybe Amazon, but even Amazon would be like a similar in that vein if they did one of those kind of deals. That's where it becomes problem. That's where it becomes a big problem for the others. Uh, Speaking of Shakur, you can put on one of his fights later to get some sleep before. Don't do that. No, I can't. No, I can't let that ride. Look, he's had a couple of stinky performances, yeah, but for the most part, Shakur fights are not boring. They're actually very high class, entertaining affairs. It's just there's not really huge knockouts, really. But he comes forward, like he keeps pressure on his opponents. It's only the Edwin De Los Santos fight and the one against the African guy whose name I cannot remember off the top of my head right now. But those are the only two where he really did was on the back foot on his bike for like the whole fight. All the others, he'll stay in the pocket. Um, so it's not as bad as that. I won't have that. Shout out to a man like North Bank Brennan building. Salute to you. Um, this TKO deal is not good for the sport. Okay, if anyone is going to be able to do their research on it, it's man like Brent because he will do the deep dive. Um, uh, and ironically, because this has just come up, Big Up Base just joined. You know more about Dillian's injury or lack thereof, and who do you favour, Joyce or Hergovich? Well, this was one of the main things I was actually going to be speaking about today before the TKO stuff sort of came into place. Um, like the injury, I do know the injury is legit. I don't know. I haven't been given the full extent of it, but it's something. I think he's broken some fingers. Um, so you can't really punch properly at the moment. Now, obviously, if that happens in the fight, you deal with it. But prior to the fight, I think it's like either I think there's a break and there's some ligament injury issues as well. So it's not he definitely wasn't trying to avoid smoke with Joe Joyce. That's one thing I can say. Uh, TKO is owned by BlackRock and Vanguard, who thought the Saudis had deep pockets. If fighters start moving over to this TKO, all other boxing promotions will be in the mud. They'll be left with scraps. Yep, 100%. Your body must be falling apart like Dillian White says. I mean, that's just rude at this point. Uh, Good for the fans and the fighters lucky enough to be picked, but the sport on a whole, no. Yeah, I get that. I think even it's the same with Riyadh. Like Riyadh has been great for the fans because we're seeing fights that you would have never thought we were seeing, and in timely fashion. But there's only so many cards they can put on, only so many people that get the opportunity, and then the byproduct is then you start getting other people who have a name value, almost like just sitting around waiting for those Riyadh bags rather than being active and proving that they deserve to be on them. So I get that as well. Um, Everyone's always it's the same as when what was the um what was the company that Kinahan was a part of, the promotional company, and everyone and their mum signed to it, and then he had the issues, and as soon as he had the issues, like they all of a sudden like everyone was just out in the wilderness. I remember like Sonny Edwards signed to them, and Josh Taylor I think was looking to sign to them. What was their names? It wasn't. It wasn't. Oh, there was Disrupt Boxing, but before Disrupt there was another company. Gold. It wasn't Gold Star, but something along those lines. I know someone will put in the chat for me. Um, TKO have been open that they won't be spending any money, all Saudi money. Well, then they're very smart. The best thing for the sport would be if it was on terrestrial TV. Yeah, I mean, true. But I won't. Do people really watch much terrestrial TV anymore? I bet I barely do. Even when there's stuff that's actually on like BBC One and Two, and even ITV, unless I've remembered to just kind of tune in, I just watch it on the apps afterwards. And it's kind of the same as being on the apps for Netflix and Amazon and all the other stuff. Um, Alright, so when asked about how UFC and WWE merger have married the two companies, his response, "We've saved money." I enjoy watching Shakur. He reminds me of Ward. He just gets the job done. Yeah, like I said, not everyone's gonna have a great performance each time, but I think the narrative on Shakur is a little bit, it's very harsh. That's what I will say. Quote from Ari Emanuel. Okay, appreciate that. Uh, Shakur legit puts me to sleep like NyQuil. MTK Global, that's it. Thank you very much, North Bank. I could not remember that. Yeah, MTK. Everyone signed up to them and then all of a sudden just collapsed. So you just hope it's not the same kind of situation. Um, I would rather see Turkey team up with the founder of Pride or K1. Those were legendary promotional companies in combat sports. Very exciting events. Yeah, but the UFC is the ones that have the infrastructure within, I guess, the US, which I'm assuming is what he's looking at more so than because K1 and Pride were more like they were more sort of the Asian based with sort of like American offices. I think it's good for the sport. Once the current stars retire, boxing needs this, or it goes into a long, low period before new stars appear. There is that argument as well. Very good argument. Um, I mean, I don't know if he's still on the run. Probably. Um, Ireland and UAE. Yeah. See, that Karma says same. Who even has terrestrial TV anymore? I don't think. I think you need a converter in the states. Um, well, over here we still our terrestrial channels are still just naturally on the TVs. When you tune in digitally, they're just there. They're part of the channels that make up your core sort of your core programming. But I don't know how many people actively watch them rather than just go onto the apps after the fact and watch the shows they want to watch when they're ready. Um, Justin, that Yasmin, sign up to Turkey's new league. um, Only other Irish guy to go missing like that in recent history is John Fury. So yeah, look, this Dillian White. Okay, so let's put Dillian White to the side at the moment because yeah, look, it's not looking great. He's a big opportunity to be able to get back in the mix, and now you've got this injury which will last however long. We don't know, um, which is a shame because if any, I'm going to be real. If any of like those boxers from that era, especially in the heavyweight division, like deserved um deserved to try and get to a big bag like that, it would have been Dillian for all the kind of stuff that happened to him in the past. um some of it obviously his own doing, and but other just like the way that he was treated by sort of WBC and all of that back in the day, it would have been good to have to be able to see him on one of those platforms down the line if he got through this fight. But maybe now he's got maybe one or two fights in him and they ain't gonna be Riyadh. They none of them will involve the Riyadh season. He may have just missed out on that, and if that's the case, it's a shame. But there's a few others who were destined for big things who ended up missing out. Just one loss at the wrong time, or one devastating loss at the wrong time, and Hove plans up in smoke. I know Joe Joyce is feeling it. But shout out to man like Saint with the £5 super chat. Appreciate you. Peace and prosperity base. Hope you well. Yes, I'm in reasonably good health. Tired, but I'm well. Thank you very much, and I hope you and the family are also good. Thank you very much for the money. It will go to making better levels of content and stuff on the channel moving forward. Um, oh, I think waffles are great. Shout out to you. In case I don't care about Turkey and Dana, I normally would, but John Cena turned heel. I'm still struggling with this. Do you know what? The thing is, I knew it was. I'm not gonna say I knew like, oh, I just knew what they were gonna do, but I had a feeling as soon as my prediction didn't take place in the chamber and like Drew didn't win, I knew that Cena would turn heel. Because they wouldn't give Cody the heel turn, because they're trying to, I knew they're trying to position him to be like the next Cena for the next 3, 4, 5 years possibly. So for right now, it had to be John, and he even said in certain interviews like he was doing heelish things, talking about what's best for business and stuff. Those are the kind of things you say when you're about to, become, not of your normal self. But Elimination Chamber was a great event, especially that women's Elimination Chamber match. That was top notch stuff. Jack Knight. Some fighters won't want to join the organization due to wanting to fight for all the mainstream world titles. Holding world titles that their favorite boxers held is a massive thing. Um, you'd be surprised how many of those fighters realistically don't care about those titles now. Maybe the Eastern European guys, but the American ones, they want to join who's paying them the most money. You already know what the younger generation is on, with obviously a few exceptions, like the Abdullah Masons and man like that. I would, he wants legacy, but guys like Keyshawn already be talking about, yo, if the money's right, I'm a businessman, let's get it popping. So even though I know that he will win titles just off of the proxy of knowing that that's where the money comes from, a lot of them, all they're caring about how much money I'm gonna make, how big of a star can I become, more so than what belt I can hold. Ed Whitcomb, good fight on terrestrial TV Friday. Harlem Eubank versus Tyrone McKenna. Yeah, I saw the face-off advertised for that. I haven't watched it yet. I will. I'm still waiting to find out if I'm gonna get to go to um, the women's card at Royal Albert Hall. They didn't give me an accreditation, but I had to, I messaged one of the heads of sort of the heads of media over there, and they said, I'm going to see what I can do. So I actually need to send him another email and find out if he's accrediting me or not. Otherwise, I don't even know which. I probably would watch Jonas and Price more so than Eubank and McKenna, only because obviously I have more of an affinity to Natasha Jonas um, and Caroline Dubois. WrestleMania 2 night watch along. Oh, 100%. We will be going, and I think if I'm correct, I think WrestleMania will be starting at 11 o'clock on both nights. So we're talking probably 11 until 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock. But yes, either way, uh, we will be doing the watch alongs. Actually, let me double check something, because I may have just spoken too soon. What date is it? I think it's the first weekend of April. Let me just double check. WrestleMania. Oh, it's the 19th and the 20th. Oh, okay. Yes, we can. Because I'm supposed to be on holiday, and I get back into the country on the 17th. Then I'm supposed to be going up to Birmingham for the Ben Whitaker card. But I definitely would do the Saturday watch along. Yeah, I'll do it, because if it starts at 11, I'll just leave. I'll leave the venue. I leave the venue at 9:45. I'll just come. I'll go back to the hotel. Just make sure the Wi-Fi is all crisp and connecting. Yeah, I'll be doing that watch along 100%. Can't miss that. Or if it does, or if if I need to, I'll come. I'll just come back home. Good fight. Harlem Eubank should never be put in the same sentence. This is why I love Emma. Anytime Emma's not around, I get worried. But I know that she's cooking. Yeah, she cooks in the chat constantly, and she's got knowledge too. When she's even been on the channel and given her takes on a few things before. Like Emma is cold blooded. I definitely need to see her the next time she's at an event. Said man's was. All right, so what's this? If Dillian takes a risk and fights in the Talmud or in a Coley, he'll get on a Saudi heavyweight undercard. Winner of a Coley and Reactor could still fight him. Yeah, but the thing is, they don't have to fight him on Saudi. Like the fact they're fighting each other on just a regular DAZN card can tell you that they've they might have a chance to be on those Saudi cards, but they're not like bankers, not like a like a Joseph Parker or a Ajit Caballero and these kind of man. So it might happen, but you never know. I think John Cena will be the next Triple H, not the next Cena. Hmm. Oh, do you think I think Cody will be the next Triple H, not the next Cena? I think that's what you meant. Emma, be realistic. If he eggs his opponent, you'll tune in. Mayweather and Canelo made money. The new belts. Yeah, boxing finna bring out the $1 million man's belt. I mean, to be honest, that would be a good belt to fight for. Every time I've tuned in, I've deeply regretted it. I've given him enough chances. Don't think he has a good chin either. I would admit he doesn't. He isn't one of the most entertaining fighters. I think the fight of him and Adam Azim probably would have been quite entertaining. But yeah, I agree. He is a bit of a messy fighter, but very smothery. Never been to Royal Albert Hall for boxing, so got tickets for Friday. Yeah, to be honest, if I don't get the accreditation, I would have got the. I still might even get a ticket because I'm sure there's still some left. It's the only problem is I'm in the office on Friday, and I know the time I finish, and I know the time that card starts. I need to come home and do what I'm doing before I head back out. I would reckon by the time I even get over to Southwest London, it would probably almost be done. That's the only issue I've got. But no music on the watch along. Here is fine. Otherwise, I'm gonna pull up and Yasmin won't save you. Look, man, we'll put it to a vote. The people said they wanted the music, so you just gotta accept that one. I'm afraid. And I said, when you get the money up, I'll tell you what you do. You don't want the music on there. You like super chats. Super chats make the music go away. How about that one? WrestleMania 2. What happened to all the previous events? What's with all these weird naming conventions since Xbox One? What do you mean WrestleMania 2? It's called no, it's WrestleMania 41 or WrestleMania 2025. How about Woody being mandated to fight Pulev? Yeah, but did you see what the mandation said? Because obviously, don't forget, this is for the regular title. He said, so he's, because remember, I told everyone that basically the way that the WBA works is the WBA Super Champ doesn't actually have a mandatory. They're not supposed to. All the mandatories are supposed to go to the regular champ, and then if the regular champ completes three mandatory obligations, then they get the right to face the super champ in a consolidation match. But the problem is they keep doing that, and then they keep splitting the regular back away from the from the super just to sort of get fees again. But that's all. Yeah. So the regular champion is the one that's supposed to do the mandatory defenses of their title. So the winner of that match has to face Michael Hunter within 4 months of winning the fight. Now that's the interesting thing. I'd quite like to see a Michael Hunter versus Fabio Wardley fight. I can't lie. Hunter's too good for Pulev at this point in time, but Hunter versus Wardley, you just got that raw aggression of Fabio against that slick, well seasoned nature of Michael Hunter. That would be a great fight. Well, shout out, who's this now? Oh, well, shout out to Carme with the 1999 super chat. Appreciate that. Was a basic get your money up, not your funny up. Appreciate that, and that's right. Like money talks. If we don't like the music and we want to get rid of the music, you put enough money and you get to control the show. Otherwise, you just have to listen to those sultry instrumentals that are put underneath the dulcet tones of Bass the Kid. I might even start running some of my old music through these and just play those in the intervals. Let people hear the skills from when I used to, that used to be the profession. But I appreciate you, Carmen. Thank you very much for that. Again, it's much appreciated. And Harlem undefeated, relaxed. I mean, undefeated doesn't mean that you're entertaining or good to watch. I mean, just look at Arnold Barbosa Jr. Although what makes it worse is he's gonna beat Teofimo Lopez. I've got almost no doubt in my mind. Um, he just got one of those styles. It looks horrible, but somehow it seems to get the job done. Oh yeah, okay, so it did mean Cody. Cool. Man said loads of tickets left. Jesus. Imagine using International Women's Day and a bunch of women didn't buy tickets. Like it's nasty work. But you know what's even worse though? Because if he said loads of tickets left, and then Skyline is saying poorly promoted card, yet they turned me down for an accreditation to go cover it, even though I'm one of the few people that actually covers women's boxing, like, and has knowledge of it, not just in the UK but all over. There's mad, but there you go, North Brunswick. Justin, show him the money, 100%. Um, how do they still have a regular belt? Yeah, look, they were supposed to get rid of all of them, and to be fair, they got rid of all of them except in the women's division where they still managed to keep the gold belt, but they don't have the gold in the men's division anymore. But the regular was supposed to go as well. They were just supposed to consolidate it in, but ever since that, they guess that sanction they were supposed to have kind of got lifted, they decided, okay, well, we start making a couple more belts again, start getting a couple more fees. A mandation to fight plies would be a rough deal. Autocorrect crazy for that. Oh, piles, not plies. Yeah, nah, I hear him. They need all the support they can get. 100%. I'll go. Um, I'll figure out a way to get there. I don't have too much. I should have a fairly comfortable day at work, so maybe I can leave early. Um, hopefully my manager ain't watching. But yeah. In comparison, watch how GBM Sports sells out Doncaster Arena with Terry Harper headlining. I mean, that's very. You know what? Izzy Azif, I've got to hand it to him because I get inundated with bare emails for their shows, and the thing is, half of them I actually want. I'm interested in going to, but it's just that none of them are in London, and they're always at times or things when I'm just not in a position to go to where they're putting them on. There's loads of like there's Sheffields and Northumberland's, the Derby one I could probably make, but they're just always mad, mad far Hartlepool and them places. But that Doncaster event looks like it could be a bit of a vibe, and there's some pretty decent 50-50 fights, even though they're names that a lot of people may not know about. I am actually fun. I'm looking forward to Ticey Gallagher and Ebony Jones on that card. To be fair, um, wow, you're not getting accreditation for that is ridiculous. You cover women's boxing in the UK more than I know. I know. This is I get all my women's boxing insights from you. And to be fair, I have actually been slacking a little bit in terms of I really do need to start doing like maybe not a full Fem Files again like I was doing before because clearly enough people weren't watching those. But I might have to start doing something similar to what Ring IQ does. Shout out to Julius because he even told me that that might be the best way to do it is to just do a segment on your regular episodes, like do one segment for the women in every episode and then do what you're doing afterwards or in between, so that way whatever the news is you can kind of get that out there. And I might start doing that because there are a few new women boxers that I've been watching that I'm very interested in seeing on how they progress. um Shout out to Izzy. Hope he gets a Sky deal if it comes up. Yeah, I think he'll definitely make the most of it. But to be honest, he don't even need the Sky deal because he's on the zone, and the zone are putting more money into it. I don't know how much money Sky are gonna be looking only for like them box office stars like they was trying to do before. Shout out to Fight Fan TV, man, at Danny Glover in the building. Well, GBM are going to be at York Hall 4th of April. Shakan Pitters versus Daniel Dos Santos. Yes, they will be. But the 4th of April, I won't be in the country. Um, I think I fly out the day before. So, yeah, I won't be there for that show. The one time they do come to London is I won't be here. Or I shouldn't be anyway. Yeah. If you know, you know. Shout out to man like Julius, Ring IQ, Boxing Talks. You seen Zelfa sign with Tesco? Yes, I saw that. I'll pull it in the group chat, and there's some people in the group chat that were shocked. They were like, "What's this?" Imagine Zelfa leaving Pat Barrett. I don't. I mean, are you saying that Pat made him stale? Is that what he's trying to say? He needs something different. But I'm gonna be real. Like Zelfa's cool, but Zelfa ain't necessarily like a world level guy like that. So signing to Joe, unless him and Pat have just had an argument, like if he's going there thinking, oh, okay, I can be a world champion now because I got a new trainer, I don't see that in your future. Um, Obviously, I hope the best for him, but I just don't see it. Despect 87, shout out. Yo, bless up, base and the peoples, 100%. Thank you very much for being here. I'm getting ready to lock off in a few moments, so appreciate you guys. We got the majority of the stuff out. Um, I guess a quick word on just before, obviously, we do sort of look to wrap up and give the last sort of comments and whatnot. So Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero, I was very surprised. I thought that would sort of be a bit more entertaining, that particular part of the press conference. Obviously, Tiafimo Lopez was doing his usual clown routine throughout the majority of it. Now, the first half of it was fine, and then he started on that stuff again, and then trying to clean up certain comments when he's getting pressed about it by people in the audience or in the press, talking about, oh no, it's just how you guys is taking it. It's not it's only racist if you make it racist. And it's like, dude, you're not that smart like that. People can see the game in it. And he's really starting to get on my nerves. But I bet Danny, find out if Tony still thinks he's the next coming. Because that was probably one of Tony's worst takes ever. Haney said virtually nothing. Jose Ramirez said nothing. I mean, shout out to Fisher. Uh, what's his first name? Uh, oh, I forgot his first name. But yeah, Dougie. Shout out to Dougie Fisher. But yeah, That wasn't the most impressive press conference. I'll just say that. Speaking of which, though, that's gonna so that free fight card is supposed to be on pay per view on the zone worldwide. I'm gonna tell Turkey right now that card. You know what? I would say it won't sell, but Ryan versus Rolly, that actually would sell. That the children would find a way to pay for that. But that card needs to be at a reduced rate. That you can't be charging no 19.99. That's got to be like a 9.99 type deal over here. Um, I mean, I still probably I'd have to purchase it, I suppose, because the fights are actually decent fights. But for a free fight card, as long as it can't be no 19.99, it can't be. Uh, Pat, Pat gave him the blessing to go. To be fair, okay, so right, so therefore it's not a falling out. He's gone thinking that he's going to be able to get that world title scene over there. But I don't quite see it in his future. But all the best to him. Star Fox. What's in the names? Tesco Joe, not even Waitrose Joe to go a bit up market with it. Yeah, I'll get on to him. Yeah, man like Dougie Fisher. But yeah, I mean, look, he tried. But the thing is, I like when I just listen to him talk in panel settings. But as you know, him hosting that probably wasn't the nicest or easiest of work for him. But yeah, look, everyone, look, get your last comments in real quick. I'm gonna log off. I need to eat some food. Also, next week I'm gonna be joining some of my companions at work who are obviously having to do their fast for Ramadan. So I will be fasting alongside them next week. I won't do it now because obviously I don't want to break my week up. But yeah, from Monday next week up until Sunday, so I'm going to be doing the whole 7 days. I'll be doing the no food, no drink, from sun up to sundown, all that stuff. But to be honest, I've quite frequently done 72 and 100 hour fast before, just with no. I would drink water because I would still go to the gym, but yeah, no food for at all in that period of time. Um, Anytime I want to lose weight, that's one of the things I'll do. I'll just do a 72 hour or 100 hour fast or something like that. Um, right. Why couldn't they just have that on the Canelo card, which is supposed to be the next day, even with Eddie now training Tio and apparently Ryan Garcia? I mean, yeah, look, that would have made sense, but let's be honest, that Canelo card, I guarantee you, he's probably making more than everyone except possibly the Fury Usyk fights. Like Canelo's, remember his guarantee was like 45 million anyway, or something along those lines. Turkey's probably paying him 80. So there ain't really the funds underneath that for Ryan and them and for that card. That's why this obviously is a pay-per-view to try and make back some of the bread, because you wouldn't make that if you put them all on the same card. You'd lose it. Did you catch Daredevil Born Again today? Yes, I did. I watched it this morning. I watched it again when I got home. I need to finish watching the second episode because I did fall asleep partway through it. But so far, I'm enjoying. It is just as I remembered the previous series with more special effects, and that's what I like. Shout out to MG. I'll keep up the fast too, inshallah. Yes, man like KG, shout out to him. But yeah, I'll be doing it next week, so anyone wants to join in, feel free to do so. But look, with that being said, thank you very much for all chipping in, jumping in. I appreciate you all. I will catch you all in the next one. For right now, it's the Hardcore Casual out.
Maybe I'ma make it, maybe I'm not. In time we'll see. But who better than me? I don't care if you agree. I ain't saying that I'm better than anyone, but who better than me?